What's up, everyone? Welcome to Play by Play Tech, Episode 9. I'm your host, Max Chambliss, alongside the new face of Nvidia TPU, Moan Dog.
You know what? I want one of them. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we did. I guess we're doing a good day on the podcast after the Nvidia announcement and stuff. So, how's everything going?
It's pretty cool. Woke up, work. I'm still working from home. So, I mean, that's a blessing, considering, what's going on, these trial times. And, again, just like every podcast episode, we're praying for you and your families. Hope that you all are safe, healthy, and, just practice social distancing. I even have a little man down here with Sonic and Tails social distancing in the conversations. so we're always thinking about you guys. We appreciate all the feedback. Also, continue to like, follow, and share on our channels. Max Chambliss is on YouTube, Moondog Gaming on Facebook for me, and we're also streaming on Twitch as well right now. So same names, just come up under us, come watch us. I mean, we got some interesting stuff to talk about today. What about you, Max? How you doing?
Oh, good. Another day in paradise. That's why I always and stuff. So everything been good. Work been good. Technology's been good. Next generation of games, consoles are coming out.
Right.
New GPUs are coming. CPUs are coming. So everything's exciting.
Yeah.
So funny thing is, he kept on telling me, when you gonna get a game PC? Now I'm ready to get a game PC.
So, I mean, and before we get started, if everyone who's watching this is our chat section. We can see everything that you're saying. So talk to us as we're streaming. We'll interact with you guys inside this stream right now. So if you guys want to talk to us, throw some comments in there. We'll talk to you right now. But I also want to mention before we get started, you see Max on the side of his video. He has a new video icon on the bottom left. That means that he's just released a new tech video on his YouTube channel. So go check him out.
Oh, exciting. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate you setting that up. So you want to go ahead and dive in on the topics, or you got some other things that you want to talk about?
My neighbor Jim is in here from across the street. How you doing? He said he's watching.
What's going on, Jim?
This is my buddy Max.
Subscribe to my YouTube page. You'll see me at Max Chambliss too. So I appreciate the subscribers and set the notifications and videos and watching videos and share your videos. No, I'm just no.
Hey,
let's go ahead and start the
podcast. So I mean, it was an exciting day, right?
What'd you say?
It was an exciting day.
Oh yeah. So good news with their announcement. They came out with the new GPUs as the RTX 30 series. And so if you guys didn't get a chance to see, they did a presentation earlier today. I went ahead. I haven't watched the presentation. I only got the clips and pieces. I was reading the news articles, but one thing I could say is that Nvidia has done it once again.
They came out swinging. Let's just say that. So let's hope that AMD RDNA technology holds up to what they say is, because they're swinging hard. I mean, if you want my opinion, I don't. As much as I love AMD and all the things that they're doing right now, they're usually missing out of that very enthusiast top tier graphics, hardware and performance. But who knows? RDNA is supposed to change the game, so we'll see what happens. But they came out swinging. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, yeah. So let's dive into that first and stuff. But before we do that, let's just talk about the presentation. So if it, just like I mentioned before, you can watch the presentation on YouTube. There's a whole bunch of videos that Nvidia. But so they announced a new 30 series. Let's start with kind of like the lowest tier first. What they first announced is their 3070 lineup, which is their lowest GPU. And all I can say is this: whichever graphics card you series, I think you disappointed. But looking at the tiers, I mean, I could go over specs and stuff, but most of the thing is that you guys could go on. You could look at the specs itself. But if you look at the 3070, 3080, well, 3080 specifically, 3080 is supposed to be the twice the performance of the current 2080 Ti. And so let that kind of sink in for a minute. When it comes to performance, I mean, 2080 Ti that's a monster GPU card.
Yeah. I think it was one of the first cards that actually went above 30 FPS at 4K at a consistent rate. And at times 4K 60, depending on your setup and overclocking and what everybody else is doing. But you know, I know what you're getting at, but where Max is getting at, this just blows it right out of the water. Go ahead, dude.
oh yeah. So yeah, because gamer, but I'm heavily into technology, and this is what pushed me right now. This is the crazy part about this, and I had to write this quote down, and so just to give a guys a perspective, so the 2080 Ti, before I talk about the older generation 2080 Ti, so they did Nvidia did a little jab towards Xbox, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't think a lot of people caught that in presentation, some of the presentation, but it was in a couple of articles. So the Xbox Series X is supposed to be one of the most powerful consoles ever that's supposed to come out. But when Nvidia just announced their new use, what they said was our 2080 Ti had 30 T flops of RTX or ray tracing alone, which you could get today. The Xbox Series X, when it's about to come out, only could do 13 T flops of ray tracing. So we didn't even go into 3080 yet. We're
not even hitting the 3070, or even if they don't they have a 3060 model? I'm not sure, but we're not even at 3070 or 3080 and 3090, right?
Yeah.
So we're not even there.
80 and 90.
So you can get the lowest tier, and we've been saying this, right? We've been saying that when the consoles come out, they're going to be hot for a very short period of time, and that time has went and gone already before the consoles even came out. So, you know, if you want something, and even now, you can buy a graphics card that's still more powerful than the Xbox Series X and the PS5. But this right here just changes the game.
Yeah, it's they hit it out of the park. It's like I'm going into this right now, specs right now, and it's crazy how they took it's a huge leap. I didn't think it was going to be twice as powerful. I thought it was going to do like a 10%, 20% type of boost over the previous generation, but you this, and this is like twice the performance.
Yeah, but remember when between the GTX 10 series and the 20 series, it wasn't that much of a gain. It was more on trying to hit that resolution at a consistent rate with the 4K, because 4K at that time was trying to be more mainstream. But now, you know, you get one of these cards, you're able to hit that as if you're running, you know, a 1080p monitor, like it's nothing.
Oh yeah, this is a game changer. The great thing about it is like the new 3 graphics cards that they announced from and which that's going to be the future if you're going to have it to your TV. Monitors right now are slowly 2.1 is the only 2 monitors that's been announced so far is Eve monitor. I'm not really too familiar with that company, but they're already taking pre-orders right now. You just have to put $100 down, and then whenever the monitor comes out, it's supposed to come out this towards the end of the year. And then the other one is Asus monitor. They announced as well that's going to be HDMI 2.1. I mean, I don't know how expensive that monitor is going to be, because I know Asus could get really expensive when it comes to their monitor. But I know the Eve one, I think it's going to be 750 at a 4K resolution to 104 hertz with an HDMI 2.1 capable input, and then of course you're going to have your display port 1.4A. So with
Yeah,
which is
so
pretty good.
just to go along with what you're saying too, anybody that's interested in these cards or consoles or anything, if you want to utilize the performance of everything, just make sure you have the compatible TV, compatible monitor, the cords, and it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a few extra bucks. I mean, the 3090 was what, $1,400, and then do you have a compatible monitor at home that's going to run at least 500 and up, or a TV that's going to be 1,000 and up? So when you think about this new generation of graphics and gaming performance and all that, you got to think of all the extra expense that comes with it to be able to get those visuals that this new technology is pushing out. So I mean, I won't be, even with me, I won't be buying all this stuff up front. It's going to take some time to be able to get the consoles or the graphics card or the compatible monitor, whatever the case may be, and to finally utilize everything that it's saying. So if you guys are planning on buying either these graphics cards or these consoles, like I told you in a couple past episodes, then don't buy it for the visuals if you don't have the display to be able to show it.
Yeah, that's it. I agree with you at a certain extent, but at the same time too, if you have a monitor that's like a 40p and you want to up the frames, frames per second, because I think even with these GPUs, I think they even touting over, what was it, 360 frames per second. So if you even have like a 1440p monitor or a 1080p monitor, you could definitely utilize this one when it comes to first-person shooter games too. So that's another thought. Visuals, yeah, and stuff. Wait for a 8.1 capable monitor and stuff to display that, and then get the graphics card. But I'm just looking at the specs right now, and I know I'm going all over the page. I know I was just talking about T-Flops earlier about the Ti, but if you're going back to the 3080 Ti, excuse me, not 3080 Ti, but the RTX 3080, they going at 58.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man.
I'm talking about ray tracing.
Yeah.
Think about the reflections. That's kind of like what they was demoing, and they had like a pinball, not like a pinball machine, but they had, it was like some type of pinballs that was going down this. But when they demoed the ray tracing on there and the lighting, it looks so realistic. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal for they showed, and I'm just thinking about all the games that's going to be coming out this year. I'm just talking about this game this year alone, because we got Watch Dogs, and then you got Cyberpunk. Oh, Cyberpunk is going to look amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that Watch Dogs. That Watch Dogs look very interesting. I used to be excited about the Watch Dogs series 1 and 2, and then I just kind of fell from them because they had that irritating repetitiveness to it, and didn't seem like developers put a lot into the game. But this one here, it seemed like they either heard the crowd or somebody finally talked to them about, let's do some more other than what we were doing as far as the phone hacking and keeping it moving. So I mean, that's one of the games I'm waiting on. Halo's on the back burner right now, so I can't. My feelings is hurt, and I can't utilize that when it come out. So
we can talk about Halo
we're looking at other areas,
yeah.
and just imagine that with Gotham Knights, playing the new iteration of Batman that's coming out. I mean, it's just going to look sweet. The pixel densities, like you said, the reflections, the what do you call it? The
speed,
the sparks, and all that stuff that come out. Everything is just going to be, with these new graphics cards, it's just going to take it to a whole nother level. And this reminds me of? This reminds me of when the change you saw from PS2 to PS3, where it was like a huge graphical improvement. And I think we're going to get that with these cards.
I'm just looking. it's just like if you guys get a chance, just please just look at the demo, and then even look at Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry also put a video where they started demoing the actual. They had I believe they had a 3080 graphics card, and they was playing Control and I forgot. I can't even think of the other two games that they was demoing, but they was showing Control. They put at the highest set. Well, they put on Ultra on everything, and and they put they had a DLSS where you just about to pass right now. They kept that balance, and it was running on that Control game in comparison with. They showed on certain games that it was doing 90 it was like 100 it was like 90 more performance level, 90% previous GPU. So that's just telling me and telling the viewers or people or consumers who think about buying this card, is just showing they went up on their performance. And it's like on certain games it was 90%, so other games it was like 80 or 75%, but it was just it was like you got consistent that was like almost double the power of the previous Nvidia. Phenomenal.
So what percentage did they say this was an increase? Because normally they say if you're not getting over at least a 30% increase, then it's really not a next gen thing. I think I missed that part because I did get into the Nvidia press conference late when revealing these cards. What percentage is it? Is it over the 30? Was it at 30, or is it more than 30% of a?
No, I think it was. I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I know for ray tracing is double than the.
I just saw that hands down compared to what we've had
previous
and what they have now. They put a lot of work into it too as well.
Yeah. Now the other performance wise, I top of my head. As in performance wise, but it was nothing but short, but phenomenal, especially with everything with the pandemic, COVID, and stuff like that. For them to able to produce this type of GPU, and it's supposed to be coming out within this month. Well, the 3080 is supposed to be coming out this 3090 is coming out. Excuse me, towards the end of the month, and 3070 next month.
Well, what was the release date? Was it like September 17th for the 3080, I believe, or the 30?
Yeah, so they go by the mid tier GTX 3080 for $699, and that's another thing too. But let me just go. 3080 is coming out September 17th. Tongue tied. And it's going for $699, which is pretty good. I know people are saying like, "Oh, that's so expensive," but then if you go to the lower 70, and I think if I did a quick glance, I think the 2080 Ti right now, if you want to buy 20, same price as the 3070.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like so the question is that GPU, or would you wait to get the 3070? So that's kind of like the other question. But the 3070,
that's the best value, man.
Especially, it is a better performance. So it's kind of like if you're looking for a new too, you could, if you want to do a 3070, like I say, it's pretty good. I mean, it's going to be better than a 20 based on the specs and based on the demo that they had during the presentation. I don't know what it is in real world application when it comes to daily performance when you do a gaming and stuff like that. They didn't show a demo of that. They only showed the 3080 demo, but 3070 is going to be a beast as well too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for the value, I mean, you can't beat that, and it's beating a 2080 Ti, and that was like the go-to card, besides the real expensive Titan at the time. It's just a lot of people are going to go to, they put a lot of work in that. They're going to go for the 2070. Those are going to be sold out, and especially with everybody being home with the pandemic and everything, it's you'll never get one. If you don't pre-order it, you'll never get one. I mean, look at what we go through with the cameras, and I even tried to look for a new desk setup at IKEA, and everything was sold out. So I suggest whoever wants to get on this bandwagon, the moment they release the pre-orders or release it, to where it's available, where you can buy online, do it. Save your money now and just do it. You got 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, or whatever to hopefully save some money and get it. It's a good value.
Yeah, and I didn't even just so they have a couple G-Sync compatible monitors, and of course they're going to have other companies that are going to be doing their customization with their own GPU and stuff. But Alienware just came out. I'm looking at this 3 hours. It just came out 3 hours ago. So Alienware and Nvidia is ready with the new Aurora system and monitors.
Yeah.
So that's telling you right then and there that might be my new setup.
And what is it? What is it you're going for?
Now.
What is it? What did you say it was?
So this is Alienware is going to be coming out with their they're going to be supporting the new Nvidia GPU. So what I'm reading right now, I'm just doing a kind of like a quick glance. What they're saying is the new Nvidia card powered by GeForce RTX 3090, 3080, and 3070 on their way. Alienware is leading the charge with the world systems with new gaming monitors are that are ready to rock at high refresh rates. And then it says the gaming desktop is also going to be updated as well with the RTX 30 series GPUs for Alienware Aurora and Ryzen Edition. So if people who want to get the Intel or AMD, they're saying that Alienware is going to have to ready for.
That's cool.
So I'm telling you, this is it's like I know I'm everywhere. I'm telling you, I know I'm everywhere. We got new GPUs that's coming out within a month.
Yep.
PlayStation 5 haven't announced the price. Xbox Series X haven't announced the price. We don't know the dates of when those systems. But you have Nvidia who did a presentation in one day, and they came out with the price.
But that's what I think.
It's coming out within the month.
That's what I think that sucks, right? Because they're holding on to these console prices because one wants to beat the other. Let's just face the facts. There's always money involved, right? And in the past, prices are out by June. But they're having this battle because Xbox does not want to have another Xbox One. I mean, they sold well, but they got outsold 2-1 when it came to Sony. And then you got, of course, the graphics cards from Nvidia, and the AMD ones are coming out. So we don't know what to expect from there either. So it's kind of, unless you're rich, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of got to pick your poison. At the end of this year, I mean, if you plan on having all of them, by far, go ahead and do it. But I can't do it all at the end of the year. I don't have $10,000 to buy 2 consoles and a graphics card and build a system and monitors and all that stuff. So, it's one of those things where you just got to pick. I am going to get the Series X. I am going to have the PlayStation eventually. And then now, when Max reminded me of the press conference earlier, now I want the graphics card.
That's what it's pretty much going to come. Bro, and you know what's crazy, Mo? So if you guys in our last podcast, I said I returned a monitor of the LG 27G and 850, and I think I gave y'all guys a brief preview that I bought the Samsung G7 monitor. And like I said, I love it. I think it's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some certain things that is okay with, but I'm looking at this article from Alienware, Dell, whatever you this Dell owns Alienware. So they coming out with the monitor that's supposed to be coming out. Alienware 27-inch. And it's supposed to be a 1440p 240 Hz panel. So
Is it on the Alienware website? I'm trying to pull it up.
I'm gonna have to text it to you.
Okay.
No, I'm on
Okay.
WCCFtech.com. And this is so exciting. Because it's like I love so far, but I don't know. I just like Alienware for some reason.
What I do see, I see Alienware has a 55-inch OLED gaming monitor. Ooh. Let me see if I can throw this up here.
That's way too big. Well, you can't see it from the actual cam right now, but yeah, I got a 27-inch right next to on you guys side of the screen, which I can't really show, but yeah, this is nuts. I don't know. It's just all this information. But all right, let's go back to the graphics.
But before we change it, right? This is the example I was talking about, right? You got to buy the console that utilizes this technology and look at this price. That's what I was saying earlier. And then you have what is a 34-inch? That's still $900 extra. And then the 27 inches, $459. So in addition to buying the consoles that come out or the graphics cards that come out to utilize what they're pushing, this is what you got to look for. And that's all I want to say before we switch the subject.
Yeah, it's gonna be for whoever is going to do this on day one. I'm just looking at this right now. This is next generation is coming up, and it's like everybody's getting gamed up, everybody's getting ready for this, and for Nvidia to come out with I'm just they're supposed to announce their new GPUs as well, and the rumor has it's supposed to be in October. So the question is, I don't know what AMD is going to sleep. They supposedly supposed to be better than Nvidia, but I really don't see that.
Well, just look at history and how it's been, all the time.
They always been a budget friendly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to come out with, but if they do come out something that is powerful than the Nvidia, then of course they're going to undercut them when it comes to price. I know that. Yeah. I know how AMD is. That's the only way AMD is going.
Well, they have the backbone, right? Because Nvidia, all their nuts and bolts are in the monitors and the graphics card. AMD has the consoles to back them up. They run that whole market, so they can afford to chop their graphics cards down and still be able to, make their profit, at the same time. So, if you want my opinion, they kind of using the Xbox route, right? Where Xbox Game Pass is actually going to sell the console, so they're not worried about, this is what the rumor says, not worried about online and cutting the console price. So it's kind of the same concept.
Yeah. So, so they're going to be playing. They're going to be price tagging each other. But like I said, this is just exciting news. So back to the graphics. So other than that, I talked about the price. I talked about a little bit of the specs, but which also is pretty exciting too, and I think it's good for Ramone and I, is that they have something that they're introducing as a new AI powered broadcast app.
Oh, so, yes.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty. It was a good demo for what they did. I know they.
Well, I think it's Nvidia broadcasting software, and what I do like about it, because they showed it before this. What I do like about it is it does the green screen without having the material. Like I have one here. This is what I use when I stream, and oops, I pushed it too far. But I use that to achieve my my chroma key, which that's what it's called in the background, to be able to put me in the game. This technology won't be. I was just sold off of that. I didn't care if it halfway worked. I was just sold off of not having this behind me. Well, what sucks is I did pay money for this, and when that comes out, I don't have to use it anymore. but at the same time, that's what strikes me there. Also, the better performance, over the regular encoder. that I use, which is the NVINC. I thought that was interesting. So that's what I'm very
Yeah.
excited about.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about that too. One the person that was sitting in the background blown dry in her hair, which I thought was funny. And it shows they had the noise feature on there, and you could hear him crystal clear, even though his back of the room blow drying our
Yeah,
hair.
well, it's kind of the same thing as on our phones, right? Because our phones does that pretty well,
Yeah.
with the mic setup and whatever the AI technology is in there. So I guess they took their homework from that and implemented it into their system.
Yeah. So so that's kind of like what they and I think the about the whole screen excuse me the whole virtual background
Yeah,
where you could put yourself, say you're using a green screen, or you could use that as your game footage. So that'd be good for you. So that would be really good for you, Mo.
yep,
Green screen, you have to set it up and worry about all that stuff. You just have Nvidia application just take care of that for you.
yeah, yep.
And they showed a demo of that, and it looks really good. But when you do a demo like that, how many real life application and stuff like that. So that's kind of like another thing.
How will they take charge, though? The only thing I will worry about is how much of a hit is going to be on your system, especially with a single streaming PC setup. I do a single streaming PC setup, and it has its ups, it has its downs. Right now I'm streaming off of we're streaming off of a single PC setup, and you get the better performance if you have a two PC setup, because it depending on which encoder you use, either the CPU or the GPU. GPU, and what's funny is I just found this out today. As long as I've been streaming right now, I did not know that Nvidia's NVINC is more so on the gaming side, and the CPU encoder is more so on the workstation tasks, like the multi task bars at the top of your browser and what we're doing now. So, and it seemed like it's working. So hopefully the stream doesn't cut off on us this time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Where was I getting at? Oh yeah. So just the whole technology in general, it's very exciting. I mean, that's basically what I was getting at.
Yeah. So with these new graphic cards, that's one of the things that kind of like really piqued my interest, because when you was mentioning that, and I was just like looking at the demo, they was talking about, especially for OBS application, Twitch. I mean, the name goes on, XSplit, Twitch Studio, Streamlabs, Discord. So with these applications, they spewed out like numbers and stuff like that, but it was saying they was showing like 89% so with 30 series GPU, this is where it will take it just to a new level when it comes to stability wise, where issue when it comes to your streaming. So it's just like it's great that you have Nvidia is really thinking. AMD does the same thing too. I think they do a good job, gamers. But what the numbers I was just mentioning before, you're seeing a lot more stream games now compared to it was a couple of years ago. I mean, they're looking at Twitch. It was like 89% number of streamers.
Yeah.
While it's up by 6%. So like daily TV watch, people don't really watch TV anymore. Watch people stream games.
Yeah.
That seemed like the newest entertainment. So it's just going to be streaming. Then and streaming games, then people who watch TV or watch regular programs and stuff. So that's something that Nvidia is really starting to notice, and that they cater towards the gamers when it comes to this.
Yeah, I mean, and I was expecting that, right? Because Nvidia's already took their dive into using the NVINC encoder for streaming, and it's far superior than the X264 process way of doing it. So I was kind of expecting them to have a next gen type of deal. I didn't know how they were going to do it. The only thing I can think of was a performance increase, but I did not know that they were going to come out swinging with this AI thing to be able to
Yeah.
just give you and your audience and everyone just a wonderful experience, while you're streaming. So I'm looking forward to it, of course. And I can't wait, man. Hopefully the AI part will be passed down to me because I have an RTX 2070 I'm using. So I hope that it can, with a firmware or software update, whatever you want to call it, can trickle down to what I have. If not, then I have to look into a new car.
Yeah, buddy, I think you are.
Yeah,
So
because I think it's going to utilize the hardware that the new cars come with. So,
yeah.
so I
So
I should have waited on buying a laptop, right?
yeah, he kept saying to Max, I think you should get a new. I was like, no, I keep on hearing rumors. Stuff. No, I think you should go ahead and get one. I was like,
I
no,
still think you should go ahead and
I'm
get
okay.
one.
Yeah, you. No, I'm not doing that. I'll wait till this new GPUs come out and stuff because then this kind of helps me do the things that I really want to do on a PC perspective, and more than likely I desktop, but we'll see and stuff. I really want to get a laptop. They haven't talked about the GPUs for the laptops yet, so I know that's going to be next year when they're going to start coming out with stuff like that. So that was like one of the things that I'm on the fence on at this time because what I just mentioned about the Alien, that's something that I'm really interested.
Yeah.
In
Well, you've always been
that,
a fan, man. But a lot of people, because of what Alienware did in the past, a lot of people refrained from them a few years ago, and to me, they've made a nice comeback, especially with their laptops, man. And then they got into the monitor
laptops
game.
are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think something happened in between Dell and Alienware to where, whatever contract, whatever happened, I think they're separate companies. I think they're not. Whatever the case may be, something's going on in the background, and they fixed it. I think it was about a year or two ago when I was reading that. But whatever they're doing is working. And also, if you guys want to inquire about this stuff, go to Micro Center. Hopefully there's one near you, whoever's watching. In Michigan, there's one over here. But go in there. If you guys want to see this stuff before you buy it, you have an opportunity to go check it out and get your own perspective on it. That's just the way to do it. That's why, even though Best Buy is like the oldest way of going with looking at stuff, Micro Center does a really good job too.
Yeah. No, they do. Yeah,
so
they do.
Baron Nasker asked
Micro-
us to. He said, "Hello guys, no offense, but as I joined just now, can you please tell me what we're talking about?" So we are on the subject. No, we're not going
to tell you what we're talking about.
We are on the subject.
You should have joined earlier.
We're on the subject of the new graphics cards that showed today, the RTX 3000 series. So we've been talking about it for a while, so we may switch up on you. But just know that we think it's amazing. The pref console was amazing. Go on YouTube, look at it. It blows everything out of the water as of right now. And we'll see what AMD comes up with. So hopefully I can answer your question, Baron.
Yeah, so this came up. Just tuning. Graphics line. They came out with 3070, RTX 3070, 3080, and 3090. And it's just what their presentation was. It wasn't just okay. It wasn't just good. It was great. It was a great. This is something that Microsoft, Sony need to take cue on. Not only did they do demos and show what it's capable of, they gave you the price and they gave you when it's going to be released.
Right? That's how you do a press conference. That's what we were waiting on.
You don't do all that teasing as in, we're going to do a presentation here. Oh, wait till another teaser on this other video game. No, Nvidia, I don't have time for this. I'm just going to give you everything right then and there. I said, our name speaks for itself. You know what we're about. We're here for the gamers, and they showed it within the hour. They gave you everything that you need and more.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what the consoles used to be, right? When you at E3 or Gamescom or whatever comes out, you watch these things, you get the price, you jump all over the couch. Well, I do that. I don't know if anybody else does that, but you jump all over the couch of excitement and you wait for this stuff to come out. Now it's like I don't know how much money to save to get this stuff. They whatever, whatever works.
Yeah.
It's not working for everybody. I tell you that. And everybody doesn't have it. So they should. I really feel like that one of them should at least put their prices out there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Second first, because there's I could talk about the PlayStation and as they came some information, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But going back on graphics card, one thing they did demo, and that's kind of like which I thought was good, is they showed a AK demo.
Oh man, don't get me started on that.
But the thing is, and very transparent with everyone who gets a chance to presentation. They cannot, with the technology that we have right now, when it comes to streaming, you cannot view AK content.
No, it's just like when 4K first came out. The only content you'd be able to view is if you go in one of these stores and watch them display it from a hard drive that actually have native 4K image. But once you take it home, Netflix doesn't utilize it, Hulu, whatever TV service you're using, not even the 4K Blu-ray players have it. The only thing you got to rely on is kind of like the DLSS where they upscale it and you get a somewhat fake 8K type of deal. But it's not native, and it won't be native for a while. You can buy the TV, you can spend all this money, but what happens is when you get on these early adoptions, when this new technology comes out, you buy it even though the content is not out yet, or companies haven't jumped on the wagon with releasing 8K content. Newer versions of that TV come out with more experience and immersion and technology in it, and then 8K comes out after that. So you bought this TV, and then there's like 2 other iterations of that TV that just came out, and it finally 2 years down the line you finally get 8K content. That's why I always tell people to wait. Don't hop on it just because it's sweet. You want this title unless you're rich. I always tell you unless you're rich. But you go out there and buy an 8K TV right now, a couple years you won't be able to utilize it, and TVs come out every year, and next thing you know your TV's old and it's finally able to use the 8K content. So just wait. It was the same thing with HDR. So just wait. Just wait. It's exciting. It's out there. You can see it in the store. The only thing I can tell you is ask the store if you can borrow the demo. That's how you can watch it.
And even to your point, even with TVs now slowly trickling in HDMI TVs and LG, and with LG TVs, and that's this before. They say they're HDMI 48 gigabytes per second when it comes to data flow, and the LG C10 only does 40. So it's debatable and stuff like that. My argument is that was a bit on LG part because they cut corners, and I get that they're saying like, well, you don't need that. But if you're trying to future-proof yourself, and this is the point that I'm coming across, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years down the line, nobody doesn't know if you're going to start using down the line, and you don't want to buy a TV that's saying they're HDMI 2.1, and then next year they'll flip it on you and saying like, actually, we went back to 48 gigs, and now for the people who bought the LG this year, LG TV this bandwidth 40 gigabytes per second, they're gonna be pissed off because now they're saying like, I thought I wasn't really few, and now that you gonna, I hate to say it, you're gonna be hurt. Stuff, but
so that's
that's
why you wait. You have to wait.
You're going to be hurt because now you're saying like, oh, I thought I could capabilities on this. I thought I could do this, and it's just the thing is wait till it becomes a more on it, and that's the thing is about early. is like these manufacturers, they don't have a standard yet because they come up with their own standards. Say, oh well, this is certified based on their standards. But if you look at the actual specs of HDMI 2.1 and stuff, it's 48 gigs, 48 gigabytes per second bandwidth when it comes to using that input. And it's just like LG, and that's what and Moan loves LG. With the monitor that I had before, I dislike LG.
Yeah, that was a little disappointing.
And stuff like that when it comes to that information. But my thinking is that you get what you pay for, and I hate for when people buy something and it's saying that, oh, it's HDMI 1 capable, and I could do this on the console, I could do this on the PC, but then when it starts to use more bandwidth and it's trying to send more data to it, and find out that you don't have the data to actually that represents on your monitor or TV, you're going to get upset, and then you say, oh, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just like Sony. I just came out with a video on YouTube where Sony just came out with H, and that's an 8K TV, and they have an HDMI input that's supposed to be 2.1, but it's only one HDMI input that's 8K, that's HDMI 2.1, but then you have another one input that's an eARC. So the issue that I have with that TV, comments before, if you have a home theater system and you got like speakers, surround sound, stuff like that, you're going to have to toggle between those two inputs, between if I'm going to use the eARC, or if I want to connect it to my console or my TV that has the 8K or the 100 fresh rate. And it's kind of like, I'll be upset and I'm lazy to switch puts when it comes to that, because it's like you're sacrificing one or the other. Because with the eARC input, you get that full lossless DTSX Pro when it comes to iMac, and it's like, I'm a diehard home theater enthusiast, but then when it comes to gaming, it's like, I want to have a per second game and stuff, or I want to watch some 8K content. I have to switch inputs for that.
Yep.
And it's like, and that's why I'm letting people know that's where I'm from when it comes to adopters. Is like that TV alone for a 75-inch is $6,000. Why I'm going to pay $6,000 if I don't have anything that I want for the next generation of content? I don't want to pay for that and stuff like that. It's the same thing for LG. They have an 8K display and they have all HDMI 2. To go back to the argument, you own 40. It's not a full HDMI bandwidth. 48 gig. I know people are going to get upset about it. I really don't care. I'm just letting you. You can do whatever you. I think it's a bad idea if you buy a new TV based on what these consoles or what these PCs going to be coming out this year. I'm just saying wait till next year, because it's going to become more of a standard, and it's forcing TV manufacturers, even gaming to make sure to start putting these specs on there. And it's just that's what they do. There's a marketing tease. You got these manufacturers that put some features on there, but all the features on there. Oh, you got to wait till next year for this. And it's just like, just wait for it to become a standard. And it's like, for me, going back to the monitor, I had to get a monitor because it's like I use it for work and stuff. So if people want to go ahead and go into I had to use it for work. So
wow, so you guys just made Max go on a complete rant.
No, and like I said, I don't mean to be irritated, but frustrated about it. But it's just like I see a lot, even about the LG, and like I said, you could do whatever you. It's like, I'm just here to kind of like hopefully educate a couple of people, and just say save your money and stuff. If you want to get the latest technology right now,
by all means go for it. LG. Right.
Yeah, go ahead and buy the LG TV.
But you make some.
Yeah. But wait till next year. Wait till they come out with the oh, now we got all of our inputs to HDMI 2.48
Yeah,
gigs and stuff like
yeah.
that. Now we can doing that 8K. And guess what? Guess what our price is going to be? It's going to be half the price of what you originally paid. And then you're going to be like, man, I just whatever amount of money I paid for it and stuff. And,
Well,
then you're going to be upset. And then you're going to be in that.
like, why I spent all this money? I'm out of $10,000.
And then you're going to have your spouse going to be looking at you.
Oh,
saying
yeah.
like, dummy.
You done brought that TV home and brought this home. You can't even use it. But we have another
Yeah.
comment. Baron asks us, bro, what do you think? Will Intel ever bounce back and can beat AMD?
No.
With the decisions that Intel is making right now, it's over.
No.
It was over when they didn't jump on the 7 nanometer processor.
And
Face
that's
it.
their biggest problem.
Yep.
That's their people have been so upset at me. I've been talking about Intel use and stuff like that. I was like, dude, no. If you look at AMD and what their work is, and that's why I got. It's like Intel got so cocky
Yeah,
with their CPU, and that's what it was. And
it was a huge monopoly.
yeah, it was a huge monopoly, and they're what they consider upgrades and stuff like that, 9th generation, 10th generation, whatever CPUs. But there was no huge improvement on CPUs. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it comes to I think it's I don't think it's phenomenal. It still beats AMD on certain.
Yeah, single core threading, but who does that though? Everything is multi-thread now.
Yeah, and AMD kept on talking about this for years. And like I said, I'm in investment and stuff. If you would have looked at AMD back in 2016, it was trading around
that was time
$2.
to steal stock.
No, actually, no, and that's why I bought them. $2 a share. Actually, it was $1. It was $1. It went down to $1.89. If you look at the stock market, the stock price, and look at the market, it's trading around $92.18, and it just jumped now. And I've been telling people this for the longest time. AMD have a roadmap. Intel do not have a roadmap. And came out with their CPUs, that first Ryzen CPU. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't that great. Like I said, it had a lot. But when they start shrinking their CPU from a 14 to a 7
10.
nanometer.
Well, they went to 10. Intel went 10 instead of 7.
No, but the funny part is, I don't even think Intel went to 10 yet. I think they're still having some issues with 10 nanometer.
I think they're back on 14. But real quick, Max, they said you're getting bad feedback from your voice. See if you can get out of the Discord and come back in.
It'll
be fine.
How's that?
Well, I guess they're saying it's cutting in and out.
Oh, I wonder if it's the internet.
Okay.
Let me try this.
Okay.
Do you hear anything, Moan, or?
You sound smooth so far. Just go on another rant. We'll find out.
I'm probably talking. That's probably why you.
Yeah, it's doing it again. So
I wanted something to do with the. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and sign out. And
how about a Discord? Hop back in. I can do a little dance and all this type of stuff while you're gone. Well, anyway, basically to answer your question, as far as Intel's concerned, I don't think they got a chance at all as far as coming back and doing what they need to do to get back on the market share. And I think another huge mistake is that they even though AMD were beating on them, they still had their prices high. Like the smartest thing they could have done when AMD was starting to take over was to drop their prices. That's just one step they should have taken, and they never did that. And they allowed AMD to sell processors that's beating their speeds and specs and whatever else you want to call it at a lower price. And they were smart about it, right? So for the first 2 gens, they were completely like, you can buy a Ryzen 7 or 5 for like $200 something, where you buy an i7 for almost $400. And it was just beating it across the board. Now what AMD is doing, they're up their they're up there with Intel as far as what their pricing used to be. And I think the smartest thing that Intel should do right now is lower all their CPU prices to at a point where AMD used to have it, and go in the background and work on whatever they need to figure out to try to have some competition in the background. But if you're going to keep those prices up there like that, nobody's going to be interested. And as you can see, all of the huge YouTubers from Linus to Jays to Gamer Nexus and all those guys, they're all using AMD now. Basically, now there are still things that Intel does better at certain tasking because it's optimized for Intel. But once AMD touches that share, it's completely over. And then they can't even go. They can't even compete with Threadripper. You might as well throw that out the window.
Yeah.
So
how do I sound now?
You sound good so far.
All right. Yeah. No. You hit it out the park with that one moment. And one thing, what Intel doesn't have, and you touched on it. With Intel, when it comes to threading and when it comes to multitasking, and that's kind of like the one of my biggest reason why I hate Intel. And I don't care if Intel hears this or not and stuff. You guys got to do a better job, and you need to cut your prices on your
Here's
CPU.
the ring.
I don't care. I don't care what you guys say, but I'm not getting paid.
Yeah, we're talking about you for free.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, when it comes to multitasking, and this is the most important thing when it comes to multitasking. It's just like what we're doing right now. When you see us on YouTube, you see Moan is working on the background of OBS and trying to switch screens and looking at the chat session.
Yeah.
And we have monitors up. When we're looking at some of the screen going on some of the sites like Nvidia, looking at video.
Yeah.
When you multitasking like that with a CPU is using up so much of its performance
Resources, right?
Resources when it comes to multitasking, is going to get to a point where it is going to just fail and stuff. And when it comes to AMD is known for the multi-threads, and it comes to multitasking. When it comes to that, and that's why I like AMD. They might not be the best when it comes to gaming, but if I'm editing videos, doing software, doing development, and streaming and watching videos on YouTube and doing all that at the same time, and I don't have a performance hit. That's what you guys got to think about when it comes to your next CPU, and that's where AMD is shining, and that's what people are starting to really see now. Is because when you multitasking, and Aaron just talked about it earlier today. It's just like Nvidia gets it. You have more streamer nowadays than you did a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and it's just going to keep going. Is it going to go? Is it going to get more and more people is going to be doing that, and you're going to have people multitasking, and that's where AMD shines at when it comes to their CPUs. Intel, on the other hand, they focus on one thing. They focus on one task at a time, or one threads. I know they got a whole. I know they up their thread count, but when it comes to video games and games and stuff like that, which is, don't get me wrong, it's very important. Yeah. But if I'm doing work-related stuff, and I'm trying to stream or watch movies, or multitask, or me trying to develop something, it's very taxing on the CPU.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and the threading portion of it is important because he wants to talk about the thread. Threads are basically virtual computer cores. So, if a core is basically 2 threads, and they're always doubled. So anytime you see, 16 core, you got 32 threads. And that's whatever program or game or whatever utilizes those threads, to perform the task. So basically, you can just say 4 cores or just 8 threads. It doesn't matter. It's just a virtual core, and that's what they provide. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. So as of right now, I'm just saying Intel is terrible at the moment. No. Well, all honesty, I'm not trying to make it. Well, I am. No.
You're speaking honestly.
I really don't care. I'll make a jab at Intel. You guys going to have to.
You know what? Intel will never send you nothing on your YouTube channel.
I don't care. I really don't care. Like I said, I could say some a whole lot of hard stuff on here. But I really don't.
Keep it
Like I said,
PG. Keep it PG.
no, I'll think about it in the next podcast if I really want to say what I really
Yeah.
want to say. But anyway, for me and stuff, it's like they overpriced for a CPU that just doesn't make any sense. Um, it's like the performance for games, yeah, it's great and stuff like that, but you only could do that for so long. And you guys are not innovating when it comes to your technology.
No,
You guys are
not at the
still
moment. No.
yeah, you guys are still on the same issue with the 14 nanometer. And I could be wrong. Mo says 10 nanometer, but
Yeah,
I
I've sworn
swore.
10 nanometer was supposed to be their next gen thing to compete with
Yeah,
7
that's supposed to be their
nanometer.
next gen. But I'm like I said, from my understanding and from what I saw and what I read and stuff like that, they having issues trying to get on the 10 nanometer. 10 nanometer. AMD is on 7 nanometers right now. Apple is close to being on 5 nanometers when it
Yeah,
comes to their CPU.
yeah.
So just think about that. I said they are left behind when it comes to innovation
And
and
I don't
technology.
understand why, because they have all this money, they have all this technology, they they were ahead of the game. They were even ahead of the game by generations on AMD.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't see how they can't pull this thing off. It must be something in the background with whoever their supplier is, and between
It's all about
whoever.
money.
Yeah,
It's all about money.
Yep,
It's all
or the
about
money.
money.
So
Yeah, they don't care about the
and
consumers.
but you know what? They waited too late. When Ryzen came out, again, the first thing I'm going to always say, they should have cut their prices to compete with them, and they never did. Even when they were because they're trying to come back. Because I want to say even though they're at the bottom, because to me they're still at the bottom. But even now, you're still going to be paying full price for nowhere near the performance of a Ryzen. So, the next one I build, it will be Ryzen based. Hopefully the RDNA 2 give us some out the water specs. Hopefully AMD has took some notes and be able to make some changes if they can't compete with the Nvidia cards. But if it does, it's going to be all AMD system for me.
Yeah. Like the CPU, my CPU it had to be an AMD. Period.
Yeah.
I like I said, Intel. It's just like they had more than enough time to get ready for AMD and stuff, and
They had 3 years.
it's
They've been getting whooped on for 3 years.
It's year after year that AMD was catching up to Intel, and Intel said, "Oh, we'll just go ahead and just make some
Yeah,
tweaks here and there."
we're just gonna continue what we're doing. Like it's not
And we're just
working.
gonna say it's going from 8th generation to 9th generation to 10th generation and stuff. And it's just like they haven't done anything when it comes to the technology base. And it's just a thing. You know what's crazy about it about Intel too? If you got a 10th generation Intel CPU, and I'm just like going off the cuff right now, their power consumption is crazy and stuff, especially for
Yeah.
laptops. Oh, you know how hot my work laptop get. It's crazy how hot it gets.
Yeah.
It's because of the Intel CPU. But when it comes to AMD, with the 7 nanometer CPU, and when it comes to their wattage and stuff like that, they consume a lot less power and is a lot less hot when it comes to that. And that's like another point that's driving me nuts about Intel too. And they haven't solved that.
No, not at all. Doesn't look like they're trying to. They're still sticking to whatever they're trying to do, unless Intel comes out with some sort of new creation of technology to where they can stay with 10 nanometer and it blows AMD out of the water. It won't. It won't do anything.
Yeah, and just think about this too. Going back to Intel, you see Apple drop Intel.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, and that's kind of like a different topic, is that they have some serious security flaws in their CPU. And for them to redo their CPU, they had to start from scratch.
Oh yeah. You're talking about
not want to do
the security
and
features,
Apple,
right?
Yeah. And Apple is if you own the Apple and you know Apple is a huge security buff when it comes to people's information getting leaked out or getting hacked and stuff like that. They do not tolerate that. And when Intel been doing this year after year after year after year, it's like Apple is saying like, I have to drop you and stuff. And that's why they're doing their own coming out with their own CPU chips and stuff, because it's saying like, you guys, you guys are not doing what you're supposed to do
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like Intel is constantly losing with that. In that regard, yeah, they got the server market. I hear people talking about, oh,
Yeah,
Intel
but
is doing great,
that's going to
but
be.
AMD is picking
I
up
was
on the
just getting
server
ready to say
market
that.
too.
I'm just getting ready to say that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's not going to
So
mean nothing for long. I would give uh, 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 Intel another year before they continue to run the whole server game, because the servers normally use Linux, which is like the superior software when it comes to security and using their networking and all that stuff. And AMD is actually more optimized towards Linux than Intel is. So it's just a matter of time.
yeah, it's
Hmm.
just a matter of time and stuff. So, all right. So that's my rant about Intel. So to answer your question, Intel's not going to bounce back anytime
Yeah.
soon. I mean, because the thing is, AMD already surpassed them with their roadmap. I think what Intel needs to do is that they need to go ahead and do the same thing, come up with their own roadmap. Stop playing with the same technology and say, oh, we're about to shrink it to the 10 nanometer or whatever they want to do. They need to really have to think about what they want to do, as in like to be competitive again.
Yeah.
And just like right now, I just don't see. They're not going to do it by this year, and they're not going to do it next year. I would. They're not going to do it this year. They're not going to do it next year, and they're not going to do it the year after that. It's going to be a 5-year plan
Yeah.
for them to get back to
And
where they want
hopefully
to
is
do.
hopefully it's not too late after that. And that's all I can really
Yeah,
say.
and AMD is not stopping. They had a 5-year
No.
plan. 2016 when it went. They got their new CEO, and back in I think it was they got it in 2014 or 2015 when Lisa Su took over for AMD and stuff. She had a roadmap, and
Yeah.
she transformed that company
Yeah.
within 5 years. And that's the thing is she was focusing on. We got to get competitive when it comes to gaming, when it comes to multitasking, when it comes to developing. That's where they focus on the CPU, because people say because people was bashing her, saying like people are not buying computers like they used to. Why you can't work on focus on the server market? Look at us right now. We're working remotely,
Right.
and guess what? Her premonition was correct and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like people are buying CPU, buying desktops, laptops
Everything,
more than
everything,
ever.
everything. I just went on Micro Center today to try to get an estimate what a streaming PC would cost, and all of the Ryzen 3s are sold out because I think they were like $100 or something like that, and they're brand new. They're
Oh
like
yeah,
third gen, and you still get 4-core, 8 threads out of it, and you don't even utilize 4 cores in games. So it's like the perfect CPU because games run off the GPU most of the time.
yeah,
And going back on the Nvidia train again, you can get you one of those sweet 3000 series and buy you a Ryzen 3, and you can almost have, well, depending on where the money is and how much consoles cost, you can come in at the same price as a console if you play the parts right and you're smart with it. So, and then you can actually pay the same price for a console and it still be almost 3 times to 4 times more powerful than the console. So I mean, you just gotta. But a lot of people are not fond of keyboard and mouse and all that stuff. So a lot of people are going to go with console because of controller. But Windows utilizes the controller too for every game.
yeah.
So I mean, it's not really that excuse at this moment.
Yeah, even PlayStation, even Sony is slowly moving to the PC with certain games and stuff. And you use an Xbox controller, you can use even the PlayStation controller
Yeah.
when you game on your PC. So that's kind of like
And consoles
another
are doing the same thing, right? They're utilizing the keyboard and mouse in certain games. Hopefully, with the new adaptation to all this, I hope that it's a full support for the Series X for keyboard and mouse. I would never use a controller, hands down, if that happens.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. So now we're gonna kind of want to switch up the topic. So you brought up game console. So the thing is that if you guys didn't know, if you the rumor is PlayStation is supposed to be coming out with their pre-orders either this week or next week. And
I
if
hope
you
so,
guys,
man.
yeah, if you guys didn't know, you probably gonna have to search for this. I'm going to see if I can try to put the link on there. But what Sony is doing is that they're sending emails out to people who are you have to give out your gamers your PlayStation ID, and you'll sign up for a potentially getting the opportunity to pre-order the PlayStation 5. And so what that means is that it's not a guarantee if you sign up for it. It's kind of like the if you're trying to get Jordans or you're trying to get or the Yeezys and stuff like that, you'll
Yeah.
get kind of like this lottery pool where you sign up for it, and then Sony, if Sony will send you an email, may send you an email
I think
and
that's
say
crazy.
yeah, you need to go ahead and pre-order this console right then and there.
Yeah.
But the question is that, and the reasoning for that is that it's just saying that they're not going to have enough consoles during the launch, so that's why they're going this route. For people who are dedicated to Sony, who buy all their games, who have all these trophies and stuff like, I don't know what the criteria is and stuff like that of how they pick their people, but they did mention like people who are dedicated Sony fans who do this, and this
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You have a bigger opportunity than people who doesn't even play PlayStation and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
The people who are dedicated PlayStation fans, they'll have a better opportunity of getting a pre-order from Sony
Yeah.
compared to a person who is never played a video game in their life and just
Right.
want to pick up a console and sell it on eBay for whatever amount of money and stuff. So that's the news.
So it's gonna be very interesting if they come out at the same time. I to be honest with you, I think I don't want to say this is smart because it sucks that we have to get pre-orders so late and pricing and all that stuff. But Microsoft stuck to. I really think that PlayStation is going to reveal theirs first, and
yeah,
Microsoft is going to react. So I hate that I had to wait this
in the
long.
next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I hate that.
Next
They
couple
have
of
to.
weeks.
You got to give people opportunity to save for the
Yeah,
system.
they're gonna have to come out with something. Like it's do or die. This month they have to come out with something.
Yeah.
Is like.
But we
that's
said
where
that
people
last
really
month
go.
and it didn't happen.
That's because of Halo and stuff like that, and all the crap,
Well,
all the hell they got from Halo.
I think
mean,
they'll.
the same thing for PlayStation too. Is like PlayStation's really prepared.
Yeah,
Because,
some of the disappointments with some of them not running at the native 4K 60 FPS and all that stuff. So they all have their downfalls. So
yeah, both companies have their downfall because it's like Sony even getting a lot of back compatibility and stuff, and then you got Microsoft doesn't have really a first party gaming lineup because we thought we was going to have Halo.
Yeah.
But you saw how the fiasco what happened with Halo because people were just saying like the gameplay looks good, but the graphics is not
right.
what Series X is supposed to produce. So Microsoft didn't like it. I said this from the very beginning. I said like the gameplay looks really fun, but the graphics was terrible.
But you know what though? I think that PlayStation is still going to do very well over Microsoft. But what I am going to say is that Microsoft will not have this huge gap like they did last gen. By far, I don't think so. It's not going to happen with Game Pass and the way that it is, and if they're leading into that direction from all the leaks from maybe getting rid of the pay for online, you can just get Game Pass. I think that's going to be the breadwinner because that's how PlayStation 3 kind of got put on the map while we all reverted to it because their online was free. So all you had to do was buy the console, and that was it. You can play all the games. There was no, but they were smart about it, right? They released the PlayStation Plus slowly towards the end of its cycle, and then iterated that until the PlayStation 4. So we'll see what happens with that on the Microsoft end.
Yeah, like I said, both consoles going to do extremely well. I think right now Sony is going to do better for this launch, just simply because of it's a Sony name. It's like they did such an awesome job with PlayStation 4. It's just like people who are on the PlayStation on the PlayStation 4 who knows PlayStation 4 is automatically going to convert to the PlayStation 5. Microsoft, on the other hand, is going to do well. Going to do well, but not as well as Sony is because the issue with Microsoft is that they need to come out with more original games. And I'm glad that people are starting to speak up about these games, especially Halo. It's like I didn't want them to launch. It's the Mo wanted them to launch. I didn't want them to launch because it looked like it was having a lot of issues. Yeah, I would be mad
I was excited.
if I had a buggy game
Yeah.
and where I see stuff pop up and stuff like that, and Microsoft or corporate, corporate Microsoft is trying to push this game, and this game wasn't ready. It's like they was talking about, oh, we'll put ray tracing later down the line and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, take the time that you need
Yeah.
to finish the game, and do whatever you guys need to do to make sure it's a next gen game. Because what we saw in the demo wasn't next gen. It looked like it was on the Xbox system and stuff. And don't get me wrong, everybody can say, oh, but it's world and stuff like that. Oh, and stuff like.
Yeah.
If you look at all these other demos that PlayStation has provided, and you look at Nvidia graphics demo and stuff like that, you could look at the other. You could even look at the other demo. That Black what was that Monkey King game? I can't
Yeah, the
think
Monkey King.
Black Wukong. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Wukong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could do it.
And they were a
it's like,
small team of 60 developers,
like I said,
right?
I'm holding Microsoft accountable, and I'm just saying this right now. Don't push a game if it's not ready.
Yeah.
Period. If it's not ready, do whatever you guys need to do and stuff like that. I'm buying your consoles regardless. I told you I was going to buy the Xbox Series X on day one. I'm buying the PS5 on day one too. Like I said, you already got my money. This don't come out with a terrible game.
Because I will play one
Halo.
more than the other.
Yeah, and don't come out with Halo if it's not ready.
Yeah.
I don't want you to come out with an unfinished game. Period. Do whatever you need to do. Moan is saying, like, I want this game to come out next year. Take it ever long you guys need to take.
Yeah, I don't
to
want
make
the
sure
series to mess up.
right.
I mean, you have a point.
I want the game to be right and stuff like that. I know you're going to have some original games going to be coming out from the Xbox and stuff like that that may blow our mind or may not blow our minds and stuff like that. But when it comes to Halo, make sure you get the game right. Do whatever you need to do to get the game right.
Yeah.
PlayStation, on the other hand, even though it's less powerful and stuff like that, they got a lot more original content and it's more capable. They are more capable when it comes to. I mean, the console is powerful itself, even though it's less powerful than Microsoft and stuff like that. These first-party developers are going to do a phenomenal job with PlayStation, period, and stuff like that. There's not going to be no issue. I don't know if they're going to do I don't know how they're going to produce 4K at 120 frames per second.
Yeah, we would have to see.
Call of Duty game. Yeah, because if you saw the Call of Duty trailer and the Call of Duty announcement, it said it was going to do 4K at 120 hertz.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know how PlayStation 5 is going to do it. I don't think it's going to be real native 4K. I think it's going to be their whole.
It's going to be an upscaling. It's going to be something just like
Yeah.
DLSS, whatever that they're using
Yeah.
to, get this up there without compromising the video quality. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're going to have to do some checkerboard rendering or something like that, or dynamic. Okay, whatever they're doing and stuff like that. But like I said, it's going to be a great console and stuff regardless and stuff. Both consoles are going to be good. It's just I just want to know the price and when it's going to come out. That's Nvidia hit it out the park and stuff. They pretty much. I don't, like I said, I know we're trying to keep it PG, but no, they kicked ass on this one.
Yeah.
And stuff. They kicked ass
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm excited.
Max gave us our first cuss word on all 9 episodes.
It's not really a cuss word. Ass. But
So you're Big Sean in it now.
no, but yeah.
But we're not going to keep you guys too long. We've been on here for a while. Again, we enjoyed it. I mean, you got any more points you want to point out, Max, before we end this?
No, it's like we could talk. The funny part for the longest time, and we really didn't know. Today.
Yeah.
And Nvidia just came. Nvidia.
They came out swinging, man.
Nowhere.
Yeah. And we were able to put a whole podcast
and we
around
have
it.
so much content.
I know.
So the crazy part is we could keep talking about Nvidia. I'm saying I will say this. I'll make this real quick. Watch the presentation. Watch how they look at Cyberpunk demonstration.
Let me see if I can find the presentation. I think this is it.
Yeah.
And
You
I'll
don't
put
have
it
to
on
do
here.
it right now. I'm just talking about the viewers. Look at Nvidia presentation. You can find it on IGN. You can find it on Nvidia on YouTube or whatever the case may be. You guys are going to be blown away at their demo and stuff. And now streaming at 1080p. I don't know if they have a 4K presentation, but they were streaming this at 1080p, and it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just like it gets me excited of what they are going to produce. They announced the price. They announced the time when it's going to be released, and it's like it's next generation and stuff. When it comes to Xbox and Microsoft, they playing this this chicken meets the roast. I don't know. They're playing this chicken game with each other. And they didn't need to go ahead and just release their pricing. Go ahead and pre-order this. That's just kind of like my own
Yeah.
rant.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so.
Yep.
But
So,
like we mentioned before, we appreciate you guys.
Max, I think you got a comment. Somebody said hi to you.
Oh, hey! I don't know what else to really say.
Yeah, but sorry you caught us at the tail end, Stubbs.
Yeah.
But if you want to catch me tonight, I'll be streaming tonight.
Oh, Stubbs! Tell them what's going on. Yeah. Stubbs tuning in. So yeah. You came in at the tail end. We'll just talk about Nvidia graphic cards, GPUs, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like we mentioned before, please subscribe. Set the notification, especially on my page, and then especially Momo's page too, because he stream on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and stuff. And he does it Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
I changed it up from school, so now I am Sundays and Tuesdays, and I have special events now, and I got to pick the date. I actually am thinking about doing a retro event. Next Friday or next Saturday, where I'm gonna pick any retro game from back in the day, Nintendo, Sega Genesis, whatever, and I'll stream that with my friends. Hopefully we get it right. Hopefully I can set it up right. We can do it. I'll try to develop this whole new background for it, hopefully. So we'll see what happens, with that. But I also have multi-video streaming as well, where I get 3 of my other friends in the video with me, and we play, Call of Duty or wherever the case may be. So just stay tuned in for that. It used to be every Thursday where I did the multi-streaming, but school has started. I had to adjust my schedule, with family and kids, and doing the podcast as well, and streaming on a regular basis. It's a lot to handle, and also trying to manage all of our social media platforms. So, it takes a lot, and sometimes you don't remember it all the time, right? You'll have this special moment outside or something, be like, oh man, I should have posted that, but it's like 3 hours later, and you don't have that privilege anymore. so bear with us. We're brand new to this. Make sure you tune in to Max's tech channel. You see the new video animation in the screen right there. He has a new tech video of the LG monitor that he hated. So make sure you tune into it. He just released it yesterday?
About the review.
When did you release it? Yesterday?
LG, what was that?
When did you release the video? Yesterday?
Today is Tuesday. Yeah, I released it yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to be honest and stuff like that. I obliterated LG monitor. I don't care what people are going to say. People go talk about, it's a great first person. Look, I get that and stuff like that, but when you're paying $500 for a monitor and stuff, I was supposed to be wild, and I was not wild. It had backlight bleed to the caboose. The colors was decent. I will say that. I said the colors was decent, and I said it was sharp at 1440p. I will say that. But other than that, if I'm watching like a trailer or something like that, just go ahead and watch the video. Look at the demo. I had demos some of the gameplay. I was playing Resident Evil 2 on that monitor. Look, I was going to burn that monitor. That's how angry I was at LG, because what makes me so upset, and this is kind of like a side note, I look at a lot of YouTube videos and I look at a lot of YouTube reviewers, and this is one of the things that kind of gets me frustrated about. And I'm not saying it's YouTubers is a misrepresentation and stuff when it comes to reviews. They talk about specs. They talk about, they got 144 hertz, 240, whatever.
You get the real life one. It's like,
they talk about the colors. You could do the editing, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk about this, but when it comes to real life performance, when it comes to real life using the monitor, I don't care about that and stuff. I don't care about those specs and stuff. No, don't get me wrong. I like a 1440p resolution. I like a 4K resolution. I have an OLED in the living room and stuff like that, and that I absolutely love. But when you spend that amount of money, and you get backlight bleed like the way that I saw on this monitor, and when it comes to watching content or even using it for work and stuff, is LG doesn't have any excuse when it comes to that. That's where I was just coming from with my rant with that video, because it's just like I got really upset because you have a lot of people who review this monitor who's giving it a lot of high praise, saying like, "Oh, this monitor is a good balanced monitor. Oh, it's like you could do this, this, and this." I wasn't seeing with the stuff that these people were seeing and stuff, and you could look at my video and you can see it from there and stuff. It's like if I'm seeing something that I'm not supposed to see, let me know, educate me and stuff. But it's just like me spending that amount of money on a monitor is astronomical, and it doesn't make any sense to me that I get this type of performance or type of use from this monitor. Okay, that was my
so Stubbs was saying, sorry, I was late, subbed already, and he said I will follow you on Facebook. He was talking about me, I guess.
Appreciate it. Thanks for all that stuff. Yeah.
He said definitely know how it is.
Oh yeah, give him a shout out too, because he has his podcast on Saturdays. And stay tuned, and hopefully Stubbs, if he's still on, you can probably put his information.
I'll try to save him. I'm on the page now. It won't let me click it. You'll show me where he is, Max. Send me his link, and
I'll show you.
I'll subscribe to him.
Like I said, he is great when it comes to his content too and stuff, and so give him a follow too and stuff. I appreciate him stopping by and stuff. So thanks a lot.
All right, so we rambled a lot. We appreciate you guys. We love you all. Stay safe with this pandemic. We're praying for you and your families. Stay healthy. Stay at home. Be careful and be safe.
Yeah, take care, everyone. All right.